November is Youth Month and is being observed under the theme Evolve. And that's to promote a strong sense of self-awareness among young people and to encourage a deeper understanding of self in the context of a more dynamic and innovative world. With this theme involved, get up out of your comfort zone, try new things, or expand what you're already good at. Your greatest limitation is self-doubt, so don't let it get the better of you. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. We have an interesting show lined up just for you, so stay tuned.
I've made my tree legacy from the primary level all the way to university. You can get involved too. Plant a tree today and keep climate change away.
Register your alma mater for the Forestry Department's My Tree Legacy promotion and be a part of the preservation of Jamaica land we love. Let us highlight your contribution. Submit videos or pictures of you leaving your mark. Every tree counts. Plant a tree today and keep climate change away.
This week on Get the Facts, we'll be looking at another government-led initiative aimed at making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Welcome to Get the Facts. It's a program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm Anthros Campbell. Now, today we're talking about the new voter ID cards that are being distributed now. With us is Director of Elections, Glasspool Brown. And we'd like to welcome you, sir, to the program once again, and we look forward to the information.
Good to be here with you.
Since we've started distributing the cards, we're hearing some reports of long waiting times. What measures have been put in place?
We started the process on Monday, October 11.
Yes.
The turnout has been fairly good. But what we have done, as we go along, we have started to look at what is happening. We have tweaked it a little bit more. Initially, and one has to understand that we operate most of our office in a plaza environment, which is a limited amount of space that there is. That's why we have started to put an arrangement in place where we ask persons with certain surnames to come on a particular day. So that's a limited number of persons that's going on. Suffice to say, though, we have put a number of things, adjustment to our plans in terms of separating the elderly from the not so elderly persons, and so as to limit the amount of time that an elderly person would have to wait in the line. And we have started to put in tents to offer some level of comfort in terms of shade for the persons, etc. And we have, as we continue to look at the system, continue to tweak it as we go along.
Do you have wardens, I'm calling them, who would help persons to observe the protocols?
Right, we have in place, our plans and our arrangement is specific in the sense that we adhere to the COVID protocol. Everybody that enters into the office to pick up the ID card have to wear masks. They are sanitized, their temperatures are taken. We have engaged a number of cleaners, we have engaged a number of security persons to assist with seeking to get persons to adhere to the social distancing. However, they are with the best of effort. What we have found that not all of us, not everybody has been adhering to the COVID protocol, the social distancing. And that's I think that we need to appeal to a person to do, given the COVID pandemic that we are now in. So we have started to put a number of things in place to assist the process.
All right, now we've seen some kind of difference in how the persons are moving. So there's less crowding now.
Right. I think persons are in the main adhering to the days that they are supposed to pick up their cards. A few persons come outside of their scheduled time. Right. But in the main, they are adhering to that. Again, limiting the amount of persons that comes to the office, etc. Right.
I know you have organized it according to surnames, right? Could you tell us how that works?
What works in a sense that on Mondays, A to E, on Tuesdays, F to K, Wednesdays, surnames that begin with L to P, on Thursdays, Q to T, on Fridays, U to Z. And again, we just ask persons to adhere to those days. And we continue the process, just to advise the public that it's not a 1 day or a 1 week exercise. Right. The process will continue for a number of weeks. So therefore, if you can't make it today, Next week you can come next week or the following week, etc. We'll continue the process until all the cards are distributed.
Okay, so we're encouraging persons. If your surname starts with A, don't turn up on the day when you're not being issued the cards, right?
That's
So,
correct.
Right. So who should be collecting cards though?
Just some sort of advice to the public. The current card that you have in your possession,
Yes.
come December 31st, is no longer a valid card, and therefore most likely the commercial entities won't accept those cards, and the government entities won't. We have sought to put the exercise are segmented into two segments. One for persons who got a card prior to 2015, those individuals who have to come in and apply for renewal. So if you have not yet done so, you need to come to the office. There's no new card for you. And therefore, for you to get that new card, you have to come or visit any one of our offices and seek to and apply for renewal. The persons who got their cards after 2015, those cards were automatically renewed. And therefore, a card will be at the office that you got initially registered. So you need to just visit your office and collect those cards.
Right. How do we find out where to go to pick up our cards?
You can call any one of our local offices. You can go on our website, ecj.com.jm/query, or you could call into our toll-free number, 1-888-991-VOTE. Or you can follow us on social media, CEC Jamaica.
Okay. And you said earlier that you separated the elderly from persons who are younger, but do you have some kind of provisions in place for persons who can't come in at all to pick up their card?
Right. If you have an issue for somebody who is sick and is incapacitated, all they need to do, just get in contact with the constituency offices. There's a form that you just need to fill out and send that back to the RO, the returning officer that is, and that returning officer would then do their assessment and then make an arrangement for the card to be delivered to the person in terms of where they reside.
Right. So how many sites do we have now where you can collect your IDs?
And cards?
Yeah.
We have printed so far in excess of 800,000 cards.
And how many sites do we have where we can locations, to pick up the cards?
Location. We operate close to 70 locations. I think it's about 73 locations across the island. Every constituency have at least one location.
Okay.
So you just to go to our constituency offices. Some constituencies they have more than one. Some would have two. Maybe in one case, I think that South Manchester has 3 locations. Right. So we operate roughly 73 offices across the island.
What should we take with us when we're picking up the cards? ID cards.
All right, to in order to assist the process, to speed up the process, you just need to bring your current ID card, and those who had applied for renewal, they would have gotten a renewal, what we call a renewal receipt. That renewal receipt they need to work with that. That renewal receipt would indicate also where they had indicated to us that it would be preferably a pickup location. So walk with the receipt, walk with your ID card. If you don't have any of those, you can still come. We will find a way to identify you and do the necessary checks and give you your card.
Okay, thank you so much. We're going to take a break and we'll come back with more discussion on the distribution of the new voter ID cards. Please stay with us.
I'm saying to every single Jamaican, you will decide how this pandemic ends. If you wear your mask, if you maintain the physical distance, and if you decide to take the vaccines when it is your time, the pandemic will end. But if in frustration or just ignorance, we do not take responsibility, then the pandemic could end badly, including the loss of more lives.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We're talking with Mr. Brown, who is Director of Elections, and we're talking, of course, about the new ID cards that are now being distributed. So tell us a little bit more about the electors who were added to the most recent voters list. Do they need to get new cards?
No, anybody who got their card after 2015, they will be given new cards, but there's no need for them to apply for a renewal. Those cards were automatically printed. and therefore they just need to return to their constituency offices and pick up those cards.
So
There's another set of cards that we're going to come out. We're now in the final phase of phase 44, which was closed on September 30th. Those new cards will be ready in the middle of December.
right. Do the cards have pictures on them, photos on them?
Yes, we have the latest features. We have moved away from the old PVC card. We are now using polycarbonate cards, which is somewhat similar, the same feature texture of the green card. It has certain features. It still have your photograph. It has have your name, your date of birth, your address, etc., and some security features which I wouldn't necessarily reveal here.
Right.
On the card.
But if you're renewing some of them automatically, won't the photographs look different from the persons, since they're not new photographs?
No, that's what I was saying, that the renewal process that we have asked the person who got their card prior to 2015 to come in. So the process involves retaking of your photograph, because those cards will have some photographs, and we over time would have changed our physical features would have changed, and therefore the new card would more reflect what you currently look like.
Okay.
So that's why the process involves retaking of the photographs.
Yes. So tell us what are some of the, well, you can't tell us of all the features, but these cards, ID cards, are very different from the ones we had before.
Right. It's more modern technology where we use, as I said before, polycarbonate material that we use, and they are laser printed cards, and the other features in the card, and they now have a lifespan of 10 years again, and these new cards will expire in 2031.
Okay, they would expire in 2031. Okay.
10 years, there's a 10-year lifespan. Yes.
Right. So you're constantly doing renewal, so people can always come in now and get new cards, as well as renew their old cards.
Right. The process continues, so if you try and make the decision so they can come in whenever you feel like, and we will seek to renew your card. As I said before, and people need to remember this, that come December 31st, the old card that you have in your possession will be of no longer of any use. And therefore, if you need to go to the Western Union come January 1, you won't be able to use those cards. And therefore, it's best for you now to seek to get your card renewed. A number of persons have been coming in recent times, and we welcome that, because we want to change as much of the old cards as possible. And therefore, if you have not yet done so, you need to do so now. Just by visiting any constituency office and indicate to them that you want to renew your card, and also indicate to them where you want to pick up your card.
Right, and there's no cost to renew the card.
It's one of the best ID cards in Jamaica now. It's free. It's available to everybody, and therefore there's no cost whatsoever. No
cost. But what kind of cost was it for you, for the government? For this exercise?
It's such amount of money we spent. I think we spent in excess of $400 million because in order to the entire exercise, to purchase the equipment to print the cards, the material, the staff that we had used to collect the data. Remember, if you can recall that in 2020 or the latter part of 2019 when we started, we had a number of satellite sites across the island. So in addition to our constituency offices, we had a number of satellite sites. And there was a cost to that because we had to bring on board additional staff and et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, okay. Thank you so very much. As we wrap, remind us of the process. Persons with what letter, surname starting with what letter should come. Just remind us.
On Mondays, A to E. On Tuesdays, F to K. Wednesdays, L to P. Thursdays, Q to T, and Fridays, U to Z.
Good. Thank you so much. Anything else you'd like to add, sir, before we wrap?
Just ask person to now try and get your card, to try and renew your card. You can visit any of our constituency offices. If you need any additional information, just go on our website or call into our toll-free number, or continue to follow us on social media, ECJ Jamaica. But bear in mind again, as I wrap up, that come December 31st, the current old card that you have in your possession will be of no further use to you, and therefore you'll be out of an identification card.
Yes, okay. Thank you so very much. This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Director of Elections, Glasspool Brown. Until next time, when Get the Facts brings you, as usual, important and useful information. I'm Rose Campbell. Thanks for watching and take good care.
It's absolutely critical that we receive the vaccines. You will see hospitalizations and indeed deaths likely come down. And so there is a lot of value to be gained by getting as many vulnerables on board as possible. So tell your mothers, tell your aunts, listen out for yourselves if you're over 60, and take the vax, because the vax is what will help you to guard against the COVID virus and indeed help your relatives, your friends, those who you come in contact with for the same benefit.
Children are becoming more engaged in agriculture, and not just for food security, but for some level of financial independence and love for the sector. Teaching them good values is always important, and saving is one of them. Let's watch this next feature to find out how you can teach your children to monetize agriculture.
Due to the pandemic, children are more engaged in online schooling at home, and you are probably wondering what else you can do to keep them engaged. Have you considered agriculture? It is a good way to get them outside and active, teaching them responsibility, the value of hard work, making money, and even entrepreneurship. Nikoi Kernaldi is proof that the strategy actually does work. He took his lessons and became not only a successful farmer, but an agricultural educator.
I have been involved in agriculture for many years now, as far as I can remember, because my parents are both farmers, and growing up in a farmer's household, it was automatic that I developed the skill and also the interest. The strategy that my parents would employ is that though their farm is the main farm, but what they would do, they would give you, let's say, 24 tomato seedlings, and you'll plant those for yourself. So you'll start practicing how to care them, and then you'll harvest them, and then you'll get all of that money. So I started to see the benefit from very early. What my parents did again, they gave each of us a female goat. So we would start the reproduction from early, and that money would go towards our savings.
Imagine what life would be like for your children, rearing their own animals, growing their own produce, making their own money. Just think about it. If you're still not convinced, meet our 5-year-old friend O'Neill Grant, affectionately called Chris, from St. Elizabeth.
Me go take the goat, me feed the fowl, me feed the rabbit. Look at mommy, mama. Come, mama.
Yes, you have rabbit and you feed them a man time. Like sometimes when you go in there, you clean out the coop and you catch water and you give rabbit. Otherwise, you feed them for them. See, you have chicken neck up and feed them same way. Before Chris 3-year-old, Chris always go and come. Go and come. So after that, follow me go bush a man time, watch how me tie goat them. Sometimes he say, Mama, I want the rope to tie. So sometimes he give me rope to tie, he go and get way. Sometimes he go down there and get way. So I say, all right, Chris, come show you if you tie goat. And he say, all right, Mama. So when Chris start tie goat them, then don't get way again. So it get used to know, till he never remember say, if you go by mother, I just me want to steer it. If me a plan go and help me, anything me I do, he help me. Till after that now, me thought me a raise for chicken them same way. He get up a man time, and me open the coop, he help me feed them. He start give them wash out the pan, give them water same way. When if he pluck, he catch them and give me them, we kill them. So everything me I do, Chris give helping on the night same way.
And Chris manages to do all this while still making time for his online classes.
I give Chris a goat. Chris say, Mama, It's when the goat turn big, we want to sell him and buy a cow calf.
My goatee. My goatee.
He behave alright enough, so sometimes like what I get in trouble now, we dry him and hug him up and put in his head and I walk like I do so rub him down so I keep myself calm. Like when the sun hot at the time now, he say, Mama, give me one pan. And Chris take a pan, catch water pipe and go give every one of them water. And come back. And I even know when we reach out say 3-4 o'clock, Chris say, Mama, come ready, we are going to feed what them carry in. Yes, he get used to it, So sometimes when we up here, in the bush long time, go give what them water. And sometimes when we look out at what, he carry in already long time.
So you say Chris going to be a farmer?
Yes, I want to be a farmer.
I want to be a farmer. Yes.
So if you don't have a farm or yard like Chris to rear animals or to do farming on a large scale, then utilize your backyard and your containers. Remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle. You can sow seedlings or plant a small vegetable garden and sell your excess to your neighbors. Here's a secret. If you plant okra, once those okra trees start bearing, you can reap every 3 days. So imagine selling at least 5 bags of okra at $100 per bag every 3 days for, let's say, a month. Imagine all that money that you can make. Do the math.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come scam. Take time running, are we ready for the ops? Drive up on your block, step out now the block, cyber take a boy your laptop. Pull up every lock, no evidence a drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the underground. Sin you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Please say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for. From you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Please say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
MOCA, MOCA.
On October 16, 2021, Jamaica observed World Food Day under the theme, Our Actions Are Our Future. Better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. Thank you to all our farmers and fishers who continue to play their part in building Brand Jamaica. We appreciate you. We want to encourage all farmers, especially the new entrants, to not be daunted by some of the damaging effects that come with this career, whether it may be drought, flood, pest or nutrition damage, predial larceny even. Do not give up. Get up, clear your fields and try again. There are rewards to be reaped. Let's all work to make Jamaica the place of choice, to live, work, raise families, and of course, do business.
To properly carry out a hand rub, apply a palmful of the product in your cupped hand, covering all surfaces. Rub your hands palm to palm. Rub your right palm over the back of your left hand with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Rub your hands palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotationally rub backwards and forwards the clasped fingers of your right hand in your left palm and vice versa. Once your hands are dry, they are now safe.
This is where the magazine ends for today, but if you would like to see more content like this, then visit our YouTube page. We also have all the latest news and updates on our social media pages and on our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.